Welcome to the Librarian's Midnight Library. I'm your librarian, and the world has finally gone quiet enough for a story. Today, we descend into the damp, light starved depths of the Vault of Shadows to uncover a tale of the Gothic. Take a deep breath, leave the world behind, and let's begin. In the town of Blackwood, the fog didn't just roll in, it arrived with a purpose. It was a thick, sentient grey that tasted of iron and old, damp earth. The townspeople lived by a singular ancient law: never let the perimeter go dark. This was the duty of a lantern bearer. Every night, from the first chime of dusk until the cold grey of dawn, a lone figure had to walk the boundary line, carrying a flame that never went out. But this was no ordinary flame. It wasn't fueled by oil or wax. The lantern burned with regret, a liquid shimmering silver harvested from the heaviest memories of the town's residents. Julian was the third generation of his family to carry the lamp. He was a man of quiet steps and tired eyes. He had been told since he was a boy, watch the wick, watch the line, but never, under any circumstances, look into the fog itself. The silver flame cast a strange violet light. It didn't illuminate the world so much as it pushed the darkness back, making the shadows scramble away like frightened animals. For years, Julian obeyed. He walked the cobblestones, his eyes fixed on the flickering violet heart of the lamp. But curiosity is a debt that eventually demands payment. One moonless night, the fog felt different. It pressed against the violet light with a frantic energy. From the depths of the mist, Julian heard a voice. It wasn't a scream or a ghost wail. It was his mother's voice, soft and clear, humming the same tune she used to sing before she vanished into the mist 10 years ago. Julian, the voice whispered, the light is so heavy. Won't you let us see? Julian's hand trembled. For the first time in his life, he lifted the lantern high. He didn't just watch the light, he forced it to pierce the fog. The violet flame flared into a blinding, jagged white. In that flash, Julian saw the truth of the Blackwood. The fog wasn't mist at all. It was a sea of people, thousands of them, standing perfectly still just inches beyond the perimeter. They weren't monsters. They were the town's lost history. They were the people who had been forgotten, the mistakes that had been buried, and the grief that the town had refused to acknowledge. By shining the light on them, Julian had acknowledged the dead. The lantern began to hiss. The silver liquid inside, the harvested regret, began to boil. Julian realized that the lamp didn't protect the town from the fog, it kept the town from seeing what it had become. One by one, the figures in the mist began to step forward, their eyes reflecting the dying violet glow. They weren't coming to attack, they were coming to be remembered. Julian felt the coldness of the fog touch his skin for the first time. He realized that the lantern bearer wasn't a guardian, but a jailer of the truth. If you visit Blackwood today, you will find a town where no one speaks of the fog. But if you look closely at the new lantern bearer walking the line, you might notice that the flame is no longer silver. It is a deep brushed purple, and the man carrying it never looks at the town. He keeps his eyes fixed on the mist, waiting for the night the light finally fails and the shadows come home to stay. The lantern has flickered out, and the mist has claimed the corners of the room. Thank you for journeying through the vault of shadows here at the librarian's midnight library. If you hear a voice in the dark, remember that some lights are meant to guide, not to seek. Subscribe to keep your place in our infinite halls. Until the next midnight, stay in the light and sleep well.